And it took nearly 10 minutes for that streetcar to get from Bay Street over to this intersection of Bay and University. A number of cars ended up blocking this intersection so it couldn't get through. And there's another one backed up trying to make its way over. And hello there, it is Tuesday, October 10th. The time is 12:45 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 11 degrees Celsius. And this here is King Street West. And that's a look over towards the financial district. And for this one, I'll be going for a walk down to an exciting new development in the city called The Well. It's a large mixed-use development down at Front and University. It's not supposed to be fully open until next month. I'm going to go down there and take a walk through the part that is open right now. And I will also check out the site of a future downtown GO station. And that's right at the southwest corner of Front and Spadina. There's a rather iconic view of Roy Thompson Hall with the CN Tower in the background. This is Simcoe Street. It's all cut through David Peacut Square over there. There's a roller skater, not an inline skater. So this is the entertainment district, or I guess downtown west as it's now called.
Everything they say is in
I'm currently walking over the Canadian Walk of Fame. David Cronenberg, William Shatner, Martin Short, Gordie Howe, Rush. And these Walk of Fame stars are also on the other side of the street. This is David Peacut Square. And the Royal Alex. And if you watched the Prime show The Boys, you might have picked up that a few scenes in that show were filmed in this square. There's Metro Hall, which I maintain is fantastically ugly. That's operated by the City of Toronto. There's a neat view with some of the financial district looming in the background. To me, it looks like a collection of random geometric shapes with not the prettiest choice of colors. Kind of looks like a 1980s attempt at a suburban city hall. And where I'm heading to, the Well development features seven different buildings, 1.1 million square feet of office space, There'll be 1,700 residential units, 1,000 of which will be rental only, and a 3-level retail base that is kind of indoor-outdoor. And you'll see what I mean by that when we get there. Not sure if this is decorative art or if that glass serves any type of purpose. If you know the answer to that, let me know down in the comments. And this here is Wellington Street. And that is the headquarters of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
I guess so.
Another view up at Metro Hall. So this is west on Wellington Street. Maybe I'll head over to Blue Jay Way and then I'll head south down to Front Street. That's the Toronto Hydroelectric System Windsor Station. Just over there on the south side of the street. And a Marriott Residence Inn. I have no idea what rooms go for in there. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, this area was a sea of surface level parking lots. And that was mainly to serve the Skydome and Metro Convention Center just south of here. And there is the well straight ahead. That first tower, I believe, is a commercial office building. And to look north up Blue Jays Way. And we'll get a close look at the new bike lanes recently installed on Wellington Street when I cross over there. nice and wide, curb separated, bi-directional, and they go from here all the way over to Draper Street in Liberty Village, and then they continue on Draper, and that'll bend up and lead you onto Shaw Street. And Wellington Street ends at that park up there, and it resumes on the other side of Spadina, but the bike lane will take you right across Spadina, so you can't drive your car from this part of Wellington to the other side, but you can take a bike. I can't imagine this parking lot will be here much longer. It's kind of a remnant of the past. And this is Front Street West, just up ahead.
I will admit basketball is one that I know. Well, Team Red is
the Skydome, which opened in 1989, and in 2003, the first of the City Place towers appeared right here along Front Street, and there's 4 of them. Those were the start of a massive residential project. But unlike the Well, they are all condos. Toronto really got away from rental buildings in the 1980s onwards. In the 50s, 60s, and 70s, I think there were heavy incentives, such as tax breaks and other subsidies, to build rental housing, and then those disappeared. And it just made more sense for developers to build condos from then on. But we're starting to see more and more rental buildings, perhaps due to the reality that not so many people can afford the down payment and ownership on condos with prices the way they are. Speaking of condos, the centerpiece of City Place is finally going up. Right over there, that is Canada House. That's a 69-story or 759-foot building on the right, and on the left is 10 stories shorter. Originally, they were called the Signature Towers, and they were supposed to be much taller. And this is Front and Spadina coming up. And where the Well is was a parking lot before that, and then before that was a Toyota on Front Street. And the Globe and Mail was located just behind where this building is here. It's a large national newspaper that's now located on Front Street East, or between Front Street East and King Street East. I think the actual entrance to that building's on King Street. Snapping a few pictures for a potential thumbnail with the iPhone. And you'll notice there's no street crossing on this side. So over there on the southwest corner will supposedly be the home of a future GO train station that would sit on the Barrie line. I think I read that was supposed to open in 2024, but it seems like there's a fat chance that'll be happening. It's a large rail corridor. And I remember a few years ago, Reese Martin on the RM Transit Channel did a video talking about how Toronto was building the wrong GO train station on that spot. So apparently in a month, this will be fully open. Looks like the sidewalk is closed just over there. And again, that's the rail corridor just over there. So the Well is bordered by Front Street here to the south by Spadina Avenue. To the east, Wellington Street to the north, and the historic Draper Street just to the west of here. Looks like an Adidas store is open. And the office tower is open. There's actually a cafe in there that I've been to. But one of the big knocks on this development is the lack of affordable housing. In fact, there will be none of it. The city has an inclusionary zoning policy, and that's supposed to require new developments to include an affordable aspect. But at the time the approval went up for this, that wasn't in effect. And I read that rent will start at $25.24 a month for the cheaper units and go up to $65.53 for a 3-bedroom unit. Which is astronomical. And apparently this indoor-outdoor design will drastically cut down on air conditioning and heating costs. But you can't shake the feeling that this is yet another residential development that really just caters to the privileged. Seems to be mostly higher end and corporate retail moving in. There's a struck tube that'll be moving into that spot. And there's the canopy covering this stretch. That looks quite nice. And the developers are Tridel RioCan REIT, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trust, Allied Properties REIT, RioCan Living, and Woodburn Canada Management. Overall, even though the city totally dropped the ball on affordable housing, I'm kind of excited to see this development take shape. There's the tower. Let's see if we can head in through it over on this end. I know there's a large Indigo bookstore that's moved into it. It looks like Prince Street Pizza is moving into that spot. I also have a hard time believing this will be ready to go in a month from now.
He said that.
All right. Thank you. There's a neat view. Maybe that's picture worthy. Throw the camera into wide angle. And just on the west side over here is the historic Draper Street. Oh, there's an entrance to one of the towers.
Okay.
So good mistake.
And one of the neat things about the well is the fact that there's no streets or roads going through it. It's designed to be a pedestrian first development. And here's that rail corridor. These GO trains are getting ready to go into service for the afternoon rush hour. So what I'll do is we'll walk up Draper Street to Wellington, and then I'll go in through the well through another entrance, and we'll continue exploring it. But this is easily one of the most interesting streets in the city. This street features a collection of 19th century Victorian style cottage homes. And they all do have heritage status. I wonder if the residents here welcome their giant new neighbors. I'm sure they don't welcome all the construction they've been putting up with. And it looks like they'll have an entrance to the well through Draper Park here. There used to be a home on this site, and it was torn down to make way for, I think, a small little factory. Let's see. Yep, a small factory owned by Ferrell Plastics, and a fire destroyed that factory in 1969, and the land became a park in 2021. So between 1969 and 2021, what was on this site? I guess that's a mystery for Google Street View. I think I did a video through here several years ago, but it was just boarded up at that time. And this is Wellington Street. Looks like there's plans for a 23-story building going in on that lot. And apparently, this development has been inspired by King Street West's industrial past. King Street West is just to the north of here. And we've come across the Wellington Street bike lanes once again. Although over here, they're on the other side of the street. Speaking of King Street, there's a new development going up on King Street West. There's that canopy again. I'm gonna try to snap another picture. Kind of feels like a big open construction site. There's a sign saying there's a BMO bank branch now open. There's some artwork. So it's designed to look and feel like a shopping mall without actually being a shopping mall. There's that large Indigo bookstore. Well, what is down here? I already know I can't go straight through to Front Street. We've got a big Shoppers Drug Mart opening. And it looks like it's blocked off over there, except an entrance to the BMO. So I think I have to go back up. I think construction first broke ground back in 2017 or 2018. There's been about another 5 years of planning before that. Well, it's intentionally designed to be an extension of King Street West. committed to preserving the character of its surroundings through thoughtful architecture and design.
Maybe they'll.
I guess because a few of the places have opened up, they have to open this up to the general public. It's either that or I'm trespassing. Black Rooster decor. Yeah, I don't really see much in the way of mom and pa type stores. The stores that are the lifeblood of most good urban neighborhoods in this place. Which is sadly a direction we've been heading in for a while in the city. That and the lack of affordable housing options would be my two big knocks on it, but otherwise, I think it's a great concept. And it seems tailor-made for our climate. I'm just curious what we'll see up this escalator. Let's take a quick look. The finishes up here are really nice. Diverse, inclusive, accepting, welcoming, safe space for everyone. That's the Werner Music Group. There's a dentist moving in here. Public washrooms. That is something we do not have enough of in the city. And a bank. Can I go in here? Found the elevator bank to this office tower. So this is apparently number 8 Spadina. Office directory, retail directory. That can't be right. Imagine trying to squeeze through here in a wheelchair. A work table. One little nitpick aside, this does seem to be a very well thought out space. remember ordering from that cafe on a live stream. So this is north up Spadina. I think I'm going to make my way up to King. And maybe I'll hop on a streetcar, or I'll just walk it back to the subway. So look at the well. I mentioned earlier you could take your bike across Spadina. You can't cross it by car, and this is how they've configured it. And there goes an eastbound streetcar. It looks like there's plans for a 28-story building on this lot here on the left. I guess the only drawback for commercial or office tenants at the well would be that it's not path connected. That, and it's not directly on a subway line. The path being a large underground network that connects many of the big office towers in the financial district. Mush Mush, second floor. Blunt and Cherry. Is that a mushroom dispensary or a cannabis retailer?
Well, they're doing it to me anyway, so I got 8 years.
See if another streetcar is coming. Yep. So I'll be boarding that. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed this walk around downtown West and the Well, an exciting new development, albeit a somewhat exclusionary one, at fronting Spadina. I don't know just who is paying $6,500 for rent. Well, I do know several roommates who will be doing that. In this city of astronomical and absurd housing prices. But overall, I think the trend towards rental buildings is good. But the fact that they are not subject to rent control is a bit concerning after a year. They can make your rent whatever the heck they please, which is one of the reasons why I definitely prefer to live in an older rental building prior to 2018, or that was built prior to 2018. Anywho, that's enough rambling. I I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink!